Welcome back. Episode 2 of Education Credit Union's The Core, and I am here with Melissa Gutierrez, our Director of Retail Operations. So my question, or the topic for today, is how to choose an account or financial institution that is right for you, which sounds kind of, like, oh, how do you choose it's right for you? But so many people use, like, my grandma goes here, like, that was how I got my first checking account was, with another financial institution, was because that's where my Nana banked. Some people go, that's where their parents tell them to go. So how does a person, an individual, choose a credit union or other financial institution that's right for them?
Sure. So I would definitely say that word of mouth is a very much a deciding factor for how someone chooses their financial institution. And that's why we really pride ourselves on great member service. And so we hope that by word of mouth, you will hear of Education Credit Union. But I think it's important to really look at all the products and services that they offer, as well as what fits your needs. Like, what are you looking for? And maybe you don't need it right now, but it could be something that you could use in the future. So having an institution that offers everything in one place is just going to be easier for you, especially in the long run.
Right. And that's the thing. Like you mentioned, other products and services that people might not know. So
Yeah.
what, your financial institution, no matter what it is, bank or credit union, offers more than just regular savings and checking accounts. So what's the best way for them to figure out, like, what is available to them?
So obviously our website, or a website, would have all that information, but sometimes you really don't get that personal touch. You are always encouraged to phone a friend,
Right.
call in. We are very open and willing to have that conversation, to ask those questions. You can always set up an appointment and meet with someone in person, and we will be more than willing to walk you through everything that we offer. But we're also going to ask you questions too, like, what are you looking for? Oh, well, we can do this and that for you, and oh, we also have this. So I think having that conversation and willing to put yourself out there a little bit, you can gain so much more that way.
Well, yeah, and it allows, like, the person you're talking with, whether it's somebody in member services, opening your account, sort of getting to know you, getting to know, like, oh, well, you're thinking about retiring, or, oh, I know this place, has great insurance products. Here we have some supplemental things. And what are some things? What are things that we offer that may surprise our members?
Well, I think a lot of times when you hear credit union, you think of savings, like, oh, they just offer a savings account. I don't think people realize that we offer everything and maybe even more than what a typical bank might offer you. I think that our online services are top notch. Um, you can call in and do just about anything over the phone. If you don't want to use your mobile app, you don't want to log onto a computer, give us a phone call and we can do mostly everything for you over the phone. We're willing to work with you. I think a lot of times people are just scared of trying new products and services, and maybe you just don't understand what that means. And so you might be using a product somewhere else and we just call it a different name.
Yes.
Having that conversation, being open and willing to put yourself out there, we can probably find something that's gonna suit your needs. I think as far as something that might surprise people is our full suite of electronic services that we offer. In our app, you can open an account, you can apply for a loan, you can see your FICO score, you can do a debit card dispute, you can change your address. I mean, everything that you would do in person, if you didn't have the time, you can totally do it in our mobile app.
Well, and that's absolutely, you're absolutely correct. And things even like transferring money, I know, especially a lot of the audiences that I talk to, like at WT and AC and in our high schools, they use Cash App, they use Venmo, they use PayPal or something like that. They even get some of their direct deposits sent there. And when they think financial institution like credit union or bank, they think, oh, that's just a checking account. But again, you just mentioned our full suite of electronic services, plus things like Zelle, where all you need to know is their phone number, and you can send money back and forth conveniently that way.
Sure.
And it's protected by your financial institution.
Mm-hmm.
What are some benefits of a checking account versus just a regular financial transaction service?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. Being able to have that personal touch where you can call your local branch and get help. I mean, we would like to think that, everything would go off without a hitch, but there are times when maybe the wrong amount was sent, or you potentially paid the wrong person. Sometimes we can't get out of those situations, but things like that happen. Or you have a question on why it processed the way it did, or the date that it did, or even for fraud purposes. It's always good to have your local branch that you can go to that can help you with any of those things that might arise. So I would say, yes, they're great for convenience, but using them through your financial institution gives you, I guess, a more peace of mind.
Oh, I love
Peace
that.
of mind.
No, you're absolutely right.
Know.
Because again, we're backed by the NCUA. We are,
Yes.
We're federally protected. Our people's deposits are protected, and that, that's PayPal doesn't have to follow those rules, right? And so
Right.
they're not a credit union or bank. And you mentioned there was so much forward thought in not only what is convenient to our members, but how does this benefit them long term? What are other? So my question, I guess, is what goes into creating a product or service for a member? Again, just that holistic view of not just what's convenient, but what's really right. What goes into that process of like, our members need this, and why this electronic service versus that one, and so on and so forth.
I would like to say that it's a very scientific process,
Ooh.
but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're sitting around and you're thinking about something and you're like, man, that's a pretty cool idea, but how could we make it ECU?
Ooh.
How can we put our twist on it? How can we make it applicable to our membership? So there are times that, the market drives the different products that we think up. Obviously the rates, like, it changes with changes with the times. It changes with the times. But sometimes, it's a bunch of collaboration, and we're looking at just our all the products that we offer as a whole, and we question, okay, is it too complicated? Is it too much? How can we make it simpler? How can we make it easier for our membership? How can we make it easier for our frontline team that, speaks about the products and how they service the products, and, the back end part too. It's like, how can we make, accounting's life a little bit easier, just slimming down and cutting down. So sometimes it can be a real collaboration amongst a bunch of people. Or one night you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, I have this idea. Can we make it happen? and then it turns into a full-blown product. But honestly, I have to be truthful. It can start anywhere.
There we go.
It can
I
start
love
anywhere.
that. But that's a really organic process, because we are an organization that's controlled by our members. So
Yeah.
our products and services need to sort of change with them and be as creative as they are. Our, teachers are pretty creative folks.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Sometimes, like, it does start from a strategic plan. Like, we know that we want to have a goal that we want to achieve. Well, how can we do that? And then maybe it develops that way. But sometimes it's just a late night, like, oh,
this could really help people.
Yes, absolutely.
So is there ever been, speaking of, since our products and services do change, has there ever been why do we offer this? Like, what were we thinking, or why don't we offer? Is there ever been we could have rethought this or revisited this and do this differently?
Absolutely. And sometimes we look at a product or a service that we offer, and it could be that at the time, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it was great, but we've just outgrown it.
Yeah.
And I think, we never want anyone to feel like, oh, well, that idea really didn't work out. It did, though. It fit our membership for that time frame that we had it. And now things are changing. Like, the outside world impacts, what we do a lot here at the credit union as well. We want to be innovative. We want to offer the best products and services. And so, we need to tweak things. We need to change things. How can we make it better? That's too complicated. Let's take that off. Or, at one time, we offered interest-bearing checking accounts, but if you didn't maintain a certain amount, you got charged a fee, So now, I mean, we don't charge a fee in our checking account,
Exactly. Well, and I remember the days of like Red Apple versus Golden Apple versus Golden Red Apple, these different kinds of checking accounts for these different groups. And now it's really simplified. A smart checking account that also pays you money. That's, that's, yeah.
And it doesn't get, I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. We don't have to have all these different categories to make something work. And even if you are in a different stage of your life, you can still use that product. Like, say, for instance, our a smart checking account. You might, max it out to the full benefit of that $50,000 that you can gain that 6% on, or you might be barely starting, your savings journey, but you have money in there and you can still earn like maximum bonus on that. So, I mean, there's always going to be a product that we can fit multiple people in, and that's like the goal.
Yes.
Let's just make it simple.
Absolutely. Our job is people helping people. Let's make it
Right.
easy to help people. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. What Speaking of trying to make things easy, what's something you wish more people took advantage of? Look, oh, we have this. Like, make sure, like, you talk to the tellers and like we've told them they're tired of hearing about it, but obviously more people need to use this. What is it?
I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I'm going to say our smart checking account. Simply because, right now in the market the world that we live in, everyone is wanting to get maximum benefit for their money. The dollar doesn't stretch as much as it used to. So how can you use a product or service that we offer to its maximum benefit? And that would be our smart checking account. And you get paid to do things that you already do.
Mhm.
You probably already have a direct deposit. Okay, that's one of the check marks. Okay, electronic statements. You
Mhm.
probably already have that. For
Mhm.
security purposes, you don't want your statements in the mail. You get them
Right.
electronically, and then you use your debit card every day. And so there's just so many benefits from that for things that you're already doing. So let's just get you in that checking account and let you maximize that benefit.
Exactly.
Of
And
that
it's not, it
bonus.
doesn't cost anything to
Right.
change. You just
Not at
need
all.
to tell them you need to make the change. I agree with you. It took me longer than it needed to make the change, so I understand.
Change is hard, but you know what? Like, if you
We
currently
try to make it easy.
yeah, and it's just, honestly, if you already have a checking account with us, it's one signature to get it changed. And if you don't already have that checking account open with us, I mean, it's simple. We make the process pretty simple for you.
Less
Pretty
than
easy.
5 minutes, right?
Yes.
Now, so checking accounts, obviously savings. When I'm in schools, I often talk about Smart Start savings. We pay you for those good grades, K through 5, all the way to kindergarten. We pay them $15 a semester, and then when they hit 6th grade, it becomes $30 a semester. Obviously, $5 on their birthday, but. So that's getting them in the beginning. That Smart Start then automatically changes to a Smart Checking when they become 18. So we sort of stick with those people who, we've grown up with. But what is the ideal journey for a person, like a financial, like, oh, you're going to need like retirement accounts, you're going to need. So when we say creating a relationship with your financial institution, and we say we want to be there through all stages of life, our classic phrase, what does that look like? What does that ideal financial journey for a member look like? If I want to detail this for you, like, this is what we want to kind of guide people through. What does that look like?
Sure. So typically it happens organically. It's not an official, will you be mine kind of situation. It just happened, if, say, for instance, you are a young member and your parent set you up with a smart start savings account. Well, that's great. That may not be the reality for everyone. You might be coming in on your own and you might, okay, this is my first job out of high school, and well, that's fine too. We can get you started at that point too. It's never too late. It's never too late to join the credit union and to maximize all of our products and services. So, starting off, you get a job, you can come in, let's open up your savings in your checking account, and we're going to show you how to use everything. We're going to show you how to get signed into your online banking. We're going to talk about, the best way to use our services for your needs in that moment. And so that might be all you need. You just need a savings and a checking account. You're just starting off. And then, you know what? You're working, you're growing in your career. And it might be that, I have a little bit of money saved up. So what's the next step? What should I do? Well, guess what? We have many options for you to help you along the way, and it could be utilizing our certified financial counselors, I mean, that's a great option, to get you started in that. But maybe you have a little bit of money saved up and you really want to lock in a good rate. Okay, well, let's talk about a CD. And one of the great things that we changed this past year with our CDs is that it no longer takes $5,000 minimum
Right.
to open.
Yeah.
It's only $1,000. And so, I might only have $1,000, and that's okay. That's great. Like,
Yes.
let's get you into that great rate right now. And that's guaranteed,
Yeah, turn that $1,000 into more money. That's
Absolutely.
the job of the CD, right?
Absolutely. And then, if you're looking, okay, past that, okay, well, now I've saved up money and I have my down payment for my home. Well, guess what? We offer that too.
Yeah.
We have a full department that can help you with that. They're so nice and friendly.
We keep our loans in-house, keeps it
Yes.
local, keeps your loan local.
Absolutely. That mortgage team is more than willing to talk through any questions that you might have. And, at that point in time, you might be like, well, you know what? I think I might need another vehicle. My vehicle from when I was younger,
Yes.
I might need something else. So we can obviously sit down and talk about rates and, what fits in your budget. What kind of monthly payment are you looking at?
Yes.
Let's don't forget to think about insurance.
Yes.
Our team is trained to help you look at the full picture,
Right.
and to also make sure that your loan is covered and secured. Let's talk about
Our
debt protection.
Yes.
Yeah, like let's talk about debt protection. Like, how could that, how, if you lost your job or you got sick, would you be able to pay? Would you still be able to pay your loan payments? So
yeah, without falling behind or
Yeah.
incurring fees or things like that.
yeah. So our team is ready to talk about that and to give you the different quotes and like what that looks like. And let's say for instance, like you change jobs,
Mhm.
and your job offers or has a high deductible insurance plan. Well, guess what? You need an HSA. We have that too.
Right.
It's just coming in and asking those questions and saying, I'm changing my job. Okay, well, what do you need? Well, how can we help you?
Yes.
Let's have those conversations. So really, as your life changes, because change happens.
Absolutely.
Change happens all the time.
All the time.
We can work with you and we can find a way to take some of those heavy burdens off of your shoulder, off of your mind, and let's do it like this.
Absolutely.
Something maybe you didn't even think about before. And, we might be able to help you or offer you this product or service, and you're like, whew.
Yeah,
That's just
it saved me a whole bunch of hassle that I thought I was going to have to
absolutely,
experience.
Absolutely.
Well, even too, like between our certified financial counselors and part of their job, if it's not us, if it is a product that we don't yet offer
Mhm.
or a relationship that we don't have, we can then build that relationship with our community partners like
Right.
CS Wilson and Associates, who we work with, for people nearing retirement. But not only that, they offer like 529 plans that allow parents to save up for their students' college
Right.
education. And so what's really great about if we don't do it, we know the people who do, and they're people that we trust. And so any of us can point you in that direction, which is really great. What do you hope is next for you? We do a lot, obviously, but what do you hope is next for ECU? What else? Where do you see it? You're the director of retail operations. Where do we expand from here?
We're always talking future. We're
Yeah.
always talking future. Of course, we like to live in the present and soak in and enjoy all the moments that we have with our team and our community. And those are important too. We don't want to ever lose sight of those. We want to keep being innovative. We want to continue to be able to offer things that no one else offers. We live in such a great community, and our community, is thriving.
It really is.
Amarillo is just such a great place, and we want to bring those big thoughts and big ideas that maybe are happening in the big city,
Mhm.
in the big city.
In the big city.
But let's bring it here. You shouldn't have to go there
Correct.
to be offered the same type of products and
And the same
services.
experiences.
Yeah,
if you choose to
absolutely.
have that and have
Yeah.
that still local feel and benefit your local community.
Absolutely.
That's, the money that stays here in this community and enriches us.
Yeah.
Now, and speaking of communities, we were founded originally by teachers, and there's still that perception in some areas of our community. There is still that perception of us only serving teachers or school employees. Obviously, we serve anyone who lives, works, or worships in the top 26 counties of Texas. Our products and services are designed to help and benefit everyone. Anybody can, of course, have an account, and then anybody, member or even non-members, can benefit from our counseling services.
Mm-hmm.
But are there things that are still just for teachers that we offer that are home base, kind of like wink and a nod, like this is for you guys, our home base? What are those services?
So I referenced our health savings accounts
Yes.
earlier. That actually started because of our relationship with AISD. Um, you know, this is a product we're going to be offering to our teachers. It is a high deductible insurance plan. Okay, well, how can we help?
Mhm.
So you don't have to go somewhere else to open up this account. What can we do? Okay, so guess what? We started a health savings account, and of course that impacts multiple people. You don't
Yes.
necessarily have to be a teacher, but that was created for them.
Absolutely.
Another great benefit for our teachers is payroll deduction. Having that peace of mind, knowing that, oh, I know that I'm going to get paid, but my loan's going to be taken care of because it's going to come out on my check straight to ECU, and there it goes, and it's taken care of. So I think a lot of times we always have our teachers in the forefront of our minds when we're building something, and then it blossoms and everyone
Exactly,
gets to
because
benefit from
it
it.
has to benefit everybody in the family. So yes, yeah,
Yes,
we go. It
yes,
starts with
absolutely.
them. Yes,
Mhm.
I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being with us today and the knowledge that you've shared. You're one of the favorite people at ECU. Everyone loves Melissa, and again, with your time here, it's just everything, and you're a wonderful resource of information. So we just really appreciate your time with us today. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, and we will see you next time on The Core.